Okay, so here we have a Mercedes E-Class W213 654 engine, E220 diesel. Now, we done this customer's rocker arms around this year February time, so just around 8 months ago. And then it also had an issue with its timing chain. We advised the customer of the issue with the timing chain. The timing chain had failed, and the customer took their vehicle elsewhere to get repaired. Now, as we can see, a lot of gasket maker they've used, instead of replacing the rocker cover gaskets, these gaskets are one-time use only. These rocker cover bolts were over tightened. They've actually broken one of them whilst tightening it. When I line it up with the timing, inlet side lines up, but as we can see, the exhaust side is not lining up, timing is out. And also, if you check these two camshaft lobes on the exhaust side, cylinder number 3, I think it has spun the camshaft whilst the timing chain snapped. So ideally they would have had to replace this camshaft. This gives a better view from here. These two should be aligned like this one here and this one here, but if we check cylinder number 3 on the exhaust side, we can see that it spun the lobe, and we're gonna have to take it off and replace it all. Okay, so now we've taken off the camshaft and inspecting it. We see the intake side is turning freely. Our issue is on the exhaust side, it's bent and it's not turning freely. It will turn freely a little bit, come up to somewhere, it will seize up. So when the timing chain does fail, it does damage the camshaft on these engines. Obviously, you'll have to inspect it better. You'll have to take off these, I think it's T27 here. T27 two torque bolts here, takes the covers at the top. You can take it out, inspect it. And also as the lobes that I've mentioned on the exhaust side, cylinder number 3, these are the issue as well. So if they had inspected this camshaft properly whilst doing the timing chain after it had snapped, they could have prevented or resolved the issue on the spot. Okay, so we've cleaned up the surface now. There was a lot of silicone gasket maker to clear up from the surface, so we had to carefully clean it up without getting any of the gaskets into these holes. Now we're just going to get our hydraulic lifters, rocker arms together, put them into its place, lock up the new camshaft with the gears and put it back into its place. So we've got our new camshaft here, locked it up, put the gears on. We like to leave the gears a bit free, otherwise with the idler gear right underneath here, there's a chance of the bottom always slipping. So we just leave it a bit, as long as just free like this, and we just tighten it up on the car so we know that timing lines up perfect and there's nothing's running out of space. And here's the old one, as I said, intake side nice and lovely, but the exhaust side, no chance. Very difficult to spin. Okay, so we've put our rocker cover back on. We had to clean the rocker cover thoroughly as there was a lot of gasket maker inside that as well. So cleaned up all where the gasket sits and cleaned up with petrol. We replaced the washers on the injectors, new bolts as well, tightened the torque spec. All the injector pipes returned, they're all back into its place. Fuel rail, closing it up. Now we're going to put the wiring harness back on, air intake on this side, and we replaced the oil filter. Once we put the oil and put everything back together, we should get this up and running, and hopefully no weird noises and no engine management light on showing for the mass airflow sensor that usually shows when the timing is out. Okay, so the engine is nice and running now. We checked, there was no leaks. We took it for a test drive, done the adaptations. Everything seemed fine. Now our customer is ready to go. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you can like, comment and subscribe.